Hellow Fellow Potatoes, welcome back to HyperPotaTalk number 4. And in this video, we'll do a set review for the next set which will be released, the Gargantua Awakened. Actually, like yesterday morning, when this video was recorded, we had news that said that the Gargantua Awakened set will be delayed for like 3 weeks, and they said that the delay was because they need to do some more checks on the cards and make sure the quality is really good, and let's just hope it's worth the wait. So yeah, next I'll do a review of the set. Okay, Gargantua Awakened. So this set is the first Ace Booster set, which will be released on 31st of August, nearly like 1 month from now. And actually it's delayed for almost 2 months from the Japanese set. And yeah, first I want to talk about the deck, which is probably the best deck in the set, and it's also the cheapest deck in the set. What are those? It's of course the Danger World. Okay, so let's talk a bit about the Danger World here. The Danger World here, they have a new attribute called the Gut Pump. First we'll see the boss card, Topface Vainglory Brosius. Here's a size 2 monster with a power of 6000, critical of 2 and defense of 2000. Its call cost: put a card from your opponent's field into the drop zone and pay 1 of your opponent's gauge and 1 of your opponent's life. So yeah, from the call cost you can see that this card is a really strong card, that he doesn't use your own resources to pay his cost. He uses your opponent's resources to pay his cost. And as you guys know that call cost and cast cost in Buddyfight cannot be countered. So yeah, basically if your opponent has 1 life left, they can do nothing about it. So yeah, you can pay 1 life and they lose the game, just like that. And that's not all. There's one more thing about this Brosius, about why he is so strong. He has an ability called Plunder. When this card attacks and destroys an opponent monster on your opponent's field or deals damage to your opponent, deal 2 damage to your opponent and you gain 1 life. So basically, he's a punk. He take your life, he take your opponent's life and make it yours. Just like a punk. He's a punk. Yes. And he's the leader of this gut punk. Like, oh my gosh, there's so many cards I want to talk about from this set. Let's move on. If taking your opponent's gauge and your opponent's life is not enough, we'll see about this one. This is the draw card for Gut Punk. You may only cast this card if you have Gut Punk on your field. Cast cost, pay 2 gauge, and then your opponent discards a card from their hand and you draw 2 cards. You may only cast Eternal Speech once per turn. So basically, this card is not just a +1 card, it's also a -1 for your opponent. So basically, +1 for you, -1 for your opponent. That's not necessarily +2 actually, but it's still a very strong card. And if this is still not enough, we'll talk about this card here. Membership System, All No Deity. It's a set spell with the skill at the beginning of your opponent's main phase. Choose one of the following 2. Your opponent discards a card from their hand and you draw a card. Or put a card from your opponent's gauge into the drop zone and put the top 2 cards of your deck into your gauge. You may only set 1 of this card on your field. So yeah, this is a set spell that reduces your opponent's resources every single turn. Whether you want to discard his hand cards or you just wanna make him lose gauges. This card is really strong because yeah, it's an every turn card. Okay, you might say one of the problems the deck has is, what if your opponent has no gauge? What if your opponent uses all their gauges so you don't have any gauge you can pay from them? Worry not, we should prepare this card. Striking Heaven Die Pump. When this card enters the field, your opponent put the top card of their deck into their gauge. And you put top 2 cards of your deck into your gauge. Then if you have another guard punk on your field, you can draw a card. And did you notice that this is not a once per turn ability? Yes, you can play 2 copies of this card and draw 2 and give your opponent 2 gauges. And then you can use those 2 gauges to play 2 Rosias and make your opponent and destroy 2 cards on your opponent's field, and your opponent will take, and you take 2 life from your opponents too. That's just how crazy this deck is. And let's look again at this one card, Insane Goddess Gosilis. She's a size 1 with a stat of 6,000 to 2,000, which is very good for a size 1. Call cost, pay 1 of your opponent's gauge. Your opponent can call monster from the drop zone, and when this card attacks, if your opponent has 1 or less gauge, your opponent discards a card from their hand. Isn't that just super insane? Like, if you play, let's imagine you're going first with this God Punk deck. First, you set this membership BT membership system. Then you cast this Eternal Speech. Your opponent already discard 1 hand. Okay. And then you call Gosilis and attack. Because you pay your opponent's gauge using Gosilis, your opponent will only have 1 gauge. So when Gosilis attacks, your opponent will discard another card, that's -2. And at the start of his turn, his main phase, with this All-Know Deity, you can force your opponent to discard another card, that's 3. Basically, your opponent will start with 4 hand cards only in his first turn. And isn't that just really crazy? That's only the hand card, while you already take some gauges from their field too. Like, that's crazy. What if you're facing like Dragon Eye or the Chaos? They can only have like 1 to 2 cards in their hands. What can they do? Especially with no gauge. Okay, there's one more card that I need to mention here. It's this Thousand Fingers Zugen Uranus. Call cost, put the top card of your deck into its soul and pay 1 of your opponent's gauge. When this card is destroyed, your opponent discards a card from their hand and deal 1 damage to your opponent. He's a size 3 with 9 to 3 double attack. So yeah, if you put him on your center during the first turn, your opponents need to go through him. If your opponent wants to go through him, he will need to take 2 damage and discard 2 hand cards. While if he lets Zugen Uranus stays on the field, this card is just a 9,000 critical of 2 double attacker. Like, that's 4 damage to your opponent. They, in their sane mind, they wouldn't want to left this card on the field like that. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It's just crazy, bro. And they also have a searcher. Go up to 1 gun, punk monster or item from the deck into your hand and shuffle your deck. If you need like Rosias to finish your opponent, just take 1 from your deck and play it directly. Okay, this God Punk deck, from what I see at the Japanese Twitter, the winning recipes, this is probably the best deck from the set. Like, their control of the way of controlling your opponent's resources is just really good, and yeah, basically we can do nothing against it. Like, what can you do with 0 gauge? That's crazy. And yeah, this deck is really strong right now. I can't wait for this set to be released. Okay, the next deck I'll talk about is probably the most underrated deck from the set. Like, a lot of people say that this deck will not be strong, this deck needs too much resources, this deck needs a lot of cards to play this combo deck and stuffs, but the Japanese Twitter proves it wrong. This deck, the new Star Dragon deck, Astro Dragon, is really strong. Like, a lot of people in Japan played this deck and won tournaments. A lot of deck recipes has been coming up on the Twitter. You can also check it on Freedom Duo's website. Oh yeah, by the way, I forgot to mention that I'm using Buddy Spoiler for this set review. Thank you, Buddy Spoiler, for the website. They have pretty nice layout now. I'll put it on the description below too. But now let's go back to this Cross Astrologia. This is the postcard of the deck. Here's a size 2 with 6000, critical of 2, defense 5000. Call cost, pay 2 gauge and put top card of your deck into discard soul. This card here has a new ability, the Galaxy Formation. Galaxy Formation is activated when you have an Astro Dragon on your center, on your left, and you have an Astro Dragon item equipped. So once you met this condition, his Galaxy Formation will activate, which will give all cards on your field critical +1 and penetrate. He's also he has a double attack and soul guard too. So basically, you need 3 cards to complete this Galaxy Formation. And once it has been completed, this deck will be really strong. You see, Cross will be a card with critical of 3, penetrate, and double attack. That's like an easy 6 damage. Okay, now what makes this deck really strong? It's because it has all the cards they need to be a strong deck. First, let's see their advantages. We'll look at the advantage card. They really have some crazy, ridiculous stuff. For example, this one, Govern Star Dragon Threat. When this card enters your left, if you have another Astro Dragon on the field, you can charge 2 and draw 1. Just like that. Isn't it just ridiculously strong? The advantage is just crazy. Like, even if you only equip an item and then you call Threat, you get 3 2 gauge and 1 draw. Okay, that's the first card. Let's see the other card. Govern Star Dragon Bordure. Here's a size 1. Call cost 1 gauge. When this card enters the field, you can put up to 1 Astro Dragon item from your deck into your hand and shuffle your deck. He's basically an item searcher, and it's just easy to find your item in the deck with him and completed your Galaxy Formation. Next, what if you still don't have those cards in your hand? What if you haven't completed your Galaxy Formation? Worry not, we still have more advantage card, like this one, Edict Star Operation. You may only cast this card if there's an Astro Dragon on your field. By paying 1 life, you can look at the top 4 cards of your deck and put up to 2 Astro Dragon monsters or items from among them into your hand, and put the remaining into your gauge. That's like, you check for most likely you will get at least 2 monsters or a monster or 1 item, and the rest you can put it into your gauge. I think if you already played all these 3 cards, your Galaxy Formation will most likely be completed. And once the galaxy formation has been completed, you can do even more crazy stuffs. Like with this card, Edict, Seer Fight, Replenish. You may only cast this card if you have 2 or more Astro Dragon monster in your field and if you have an Astro Dragon item equipped, which means you completed your galaxy formation. Put the top 2 cards from your deck into your gauge, you gain 1 life and draw 2 cards. That's like almost double Dragon Emperor Legend. Like, that's super advantage. So crazy, 2 gauge, 2 draw, 1 life. Wow. Okay. So that's only the advantage card. Now let's look about the offense. Before we already talked about Cross giving critical +1 and penetrate to all cards on your field. Now let's see what cards have a very good synergy with that. The first one is this, Fight Seer Dragon Inno Chevron. He's a size 1 with a power of 4000, critical of 2 and defense 1000. When this card attacks, if this card is on the left, for this turn, this card gets double attack. So with Cross being a critical of 3 and double attack, it deals 6 damages. And if you have Inno Chevron on your left, this card also will have a critical of 3 and double attack. 6, so that's already 12 damages. I know, right? 12 damages is still low in today's Buddyfight. Let's look at the item. This is the first item we're gonna look at. Searbow Babylon. It's an Astro Dragon item with power of 6000, critical of 2. This card can attack even if you have an Astro Dragon on your center, of course, because Cross will be protecting your center. And when this card attacks, if you have an Astro Dragon on your center and left, this card gets double attack. Basically, if your galaxy formation is completed, this card will also have a double attack. So with Cross and Inno Chevron, they will deal 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. That's 18 damages in 1 turn. Okay, that's the offense. Actually, there's also one more card. I'm not sure whether it's an offense card or an advantage card. Basically, it's like both. You may only cast this card if you have 2 or more Astro Dragon on your field. By paying 1 gauge, you can destroy up to 3 cards on your opponent's field. Cards. You can also destroy items or set spells. And if you destroy 2 or more, you can draw a card. This card is really good. Super good. I don't know why people underestimate this deck so much. Like, maybe because it's a combo deck, but the cards printed in this set is just really solid. Each individual card has ridiculously strong effects, and it's just crazy. Okay, we've covered the advantage of the deck and the offense of the deck. Now let's see the defense of the deck, why this deck is still very strong. The first one is the substitute for Cross, Gargantua Dragon Jairuzuben. Like, I know, like, maybe you won't always draw Cross because they don't have any searcher in the deck yet. But if you don't have any Cross, you can just basically call this Mini Athora on the center. Here's a size 2 with a defense of 7000. Call cost, pay 1 gauge and put the top 2 cards of your deck into this card soul. When this card is attacked, if you have an Astro Dragon item equipped, for this turn, nullify the penetrate of all attacking cards. So basically, he's a card with defense of 7000, cannot be penetrated, just like Athora. And when this card is destroyed, you gain 1 life. So basically, if your opponent wants to get rid of this card, he needs to attack 3 times. And then, when he's destroyed, you already gain 3 life. I don't think your opponent will drop your life that easily anymore after this. Maybe next time you can draw Cross and just do the ridiculously strong OTK. Okay, that's the first defense card. Next, we have this little guy here. It's kind of laggy, wait. Hello, Jairon. Something is wrong. I think my internet connection is wrong. Let's look at some other card first. Okay, this is the defense spell. Notice Defense Divination. You may only cast this card if you have 2 or more Astral Dragon in your field during your opponent's turn. Holy mother, Jairon is coming up now. Okay, let's talk about Jairon first. He's a size 1. Pay 1 gauge, put a top card of your deck into its soul. And this card basically has the Raging Spirit skill. When your opponent's cards attack, if this card is on the left, you can change the attack target to this card. And he has Tolga. So basically, it can redirect attack twice. Okay. Isn't that just a crazy defense mechanism? And we also have this. Notice Defense Divination. I think this is probably the strongest defense card in Astral Dragon. He's basically like Mount Voice. You may only cast this card if you have 2 or more Astral Dragon in your field during your opponent's turn. For this turn, all cards in your opponent's field get power minus 5000, defense minus 5000, and critical minus 1. What if you cast 2 of this card? Your opponent can basically like do nothing on their turn and just proceed to end turn while next turn getting hit by your Galaxy Formation next turn. And you can already see why this card kinda dominates the Japanese meta. Okay, let's look at some other cards again. This is like the Dark Hero hideout for Astral Dragon. Declaration, Divination Bell ready. Set spell, all abilities of Astral Dragon in the field can be nullified, and when an Astral Dragon monster enters the field, draw a card and gain 1 life. You only set 1 Declaration, Divine Bell ready on your field. Yeah, so this is basically like the Dark Hero hideout. And Dark Hero. And to close it off, we have this Impact Finisher, Tri-Star Decision. You only cast this card if your Galaxy Formation is completed and your opponent's life is 5 or less. By paying 3 gauge, you can deal 5 damages to your opponent. You may think that 3 gauge is really expensive, but to be honest, in this deck, it's really easy to get a lot of gauges because of Red and all the other cards like this Seer Fight Replenish. So you will have plenty of gauge to spend on your cards, your abilities. You can even run the old Star Dragon cards like Shining Rain to nullify spells, or some more defense card like Crystallization Phenomenon, or the Phase Steel Chain to force end your opponent's attack phase. And yeah, I think this deck is a pretty strong deck for the ace sets. Okay, I think that's all for HyperPotaTalk number 5. We talked about the most potential 2 decks from the set, which already show their fangs in the Japanese meta. Let's see if they can like really make an appearance in the global meta, but I think they will. So on the next episode, we'll talk about the other 2 decks, the Gargantua Dragon and the Spiraling Dragon order. So for now, HyperPotaTos signing out.